Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium podcast with Lee and Josh.
Hey man.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm real tired.
Oh, I'm not actually tired.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm always tired.
Well, I just got off shift, so.
Yeah, I did. So
Yeah.
You're more tired than me. That's fine.
Yeah.
Episode 98.
Episode 98.
Do you like that energy?
Yeah, I like that energy. That was good energy. I need to bring more.
That's about all I got.
I need to bring more. Yeah, episode 98. We're 2 away from 100.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still talking about what we're going to do for 100.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably figure it out the week of. Night before, yeah. But yeah. So everybody welcome. Episodes come out on Saturday now.
Yep.
I feel like I need to say that up top. Again, if you've got anything you want us to talk about, send us a message. The number is on our Instagram page. Check us out on Facebook, or not Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I think that's all we got. Instagram and YouTube, and then
streaming
or
all the podcasts.
All the podcast places. iTunes, Spotify.
Wherever you listen to your podcast.
Tune in. We've had a couple of people, or we've had one person send us something for this week.
Oh, cool.
But it kind of ties in to a lot of the other stuff we're talking about. So this is, no, you do the Alabama thing first.
Which thing?
The movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll start. Okay. Yeah. This article from AL.com is 18 movies that earn big bucks, all set in or filmed in Alabama.
Yeah.
Not doing 18.
Yeah.
I'm going to do like the top 7.
Or just, yeah.
I don't know what the number of this movie is, but it's Talladega Nights. It was like halfway through the pack. Yeah. Had to start with Talladega Nights. Yeah. It grossed $163 million.
It's pretty funny, maybe.
Yeah. One of the kids.
So some of them. So I actually read this article the other day. It's either filmed in or set in Alabama, and it says like if it's set or filmed in.
Oh,
so
okay.
That might be interesting to talk about. If
this Talladega Nights was set and filmed in Alabama.
Yeah.
Yep.
At Talladega.
Yeah. Next up before that, Sweet Home Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Old or classic Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
That joke is so funny.
I know. I love that joke. Reese Witherspoon? Reese Witherspoon.
Did you hear about that actress that stabbed that reporter?
Yeah. Reese Witherspoon? No, it was with a knife.
No, with a knife. Gosh, that's funny. Anyway, it was set in Alabama. It was filmed in Georgia.
Yeah. A lot of these are filmed in Georgia, which Atlanta is becoming a huge hub for the entertainment industry.
It's cheaper.
Of course it is.
It earned $180 million.
Nice.
Due date.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis.
So it says that it was not filmed in Alabama.
Filmed in and around Atlanta, New Mexico, and Arizona.
There were actually scenes that were filmed in Tuscaloosa.
Really?
It was scenes of the car like driving down the road, and it would be like a drone following the car. It wasn't Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis in the car.
Yeah.
But it was filmed in Alabama, and they...
Our stretches of highway are better than Georgia's.
I guess.
But it grossed $211 million.
Yeah, that's gross.
Get Out.
Yep. I've driven past the house.
Set in Alabama, no.
Mm-mm.
Filmed in Alabama, yes. Fairhope and Mobile.
Yeah.
Spooky plot. That's just...
Yeah.
I don't like driving through it.
Set in New York.
Upstate New York.
Yeah, but it was filmed in Alabama, and you can drive past the house in Fairhope, where the which is crazy because it makes it seem like it's like way out in the middle of nowhere, and it's actually like pretty close to town, and it's just movie magic. Jinx.
Yeah, I still hadn't seen it.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm scared.
It's so good. It's a fantastic movie.
It grossed $255 million.
He's got another one coming out about aliens. Ought to be pretty good.
Great. All right. Borat, the new Borat, or the one that came out in 2006. So not the new one.
Yeah.
Borat Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan. I hate that guy, by the way.
I'm not a big
Sacha Baron Cohen.
I'm not a big.
That's not funny.
There's some of the parts of his movies that are funny, but it's so far and few between. I will say, just growing up in the Pentecostal church, when they went to a Pentecostal church, I was on the floor in the movie theater laughing.
Really?
Because it was so funny to me.
Yeah.
It
grossed $262 million. He stopped in Alabama, so it was filmed and set. Part of it was filmed and set. I got a few more. Green Book.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch it.
I think it's about interracial marriage. Is that right?
No,
it's not.
No.
Huh?
The white guy who is Viggo Mortensen. The black guy is like a singer, and he drives him across the South to get to a gig or something, and they have to and it's during the civil rights movement, and so I don't know if it's during the civil rights movement, but it's
okay. I was thinking of another movie called Loving. It is set in Virginia, and for some reason I thought it was
Green Book. Set in Alabama, yes. One important scene is in Birmingham. Filmed in Alabama, no. It grossed $321 million. Number one, of course, Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Yes, it was set in Alabama. Yes, it was set in Alabama. No, it was not filmed in Alabama.
So does it make you a little upset when they set movies in Alabama and then they're not filmed in Alabama? To me, it's like a little it's like, come on.
Well, but think, so this movie was in like the 50s and 60s and 70s. That's not still in Alabama.
The whole thing is like Greenbow, Alabama.
But
like, come on.
Greenbow's not a real place either.
But still,
so.
you could have done some like Sweet Home Alabama. That movie was not filmed in Alabama.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I feel like
it should be. It should be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, if you film it in Alabama, it better not be set in Kentucky or something.
The Get Out was set in Alabama.
Upstate New York.
Yeah. So kind of going along with the same feeling of that, I have the best fries in Tuscaloosa. Restaurants with the best fries in Tuscaloosa. 95.3 The Bear did this.
I'll have something to say about this.
Number 10 was Chick-fil-A waffle fries. If number 10 is like the worst or not that great, I agree.
There's 9 better. Yes. Yeah. There's at least 9 better fries.
Number 9, Taco Bell nacho fries.
They are good. Do you know why they're good?
Because
they're basically just Checkers fries.
So that's later in on the list. Number 8, KFC.
Okay.
Number 7, Arby's curly fries. Pretty good.
I'm on board.
Number 5, Wendy's.
Wendy's new fries are fantastic.
It's the hot and crispy fries.
They are wonderful.
Number 4, Popeye's Cajun fries.
Not the Cajun fries, but fries from Popeyes are just like Checkers fries.
Yeah. Number 3 is Checkers.
Fishers.
Checkers fries.
Checkers
fries. Number 2, McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1.
If you say Burger King, I'm flipping this table over.
Burger Five Guys.
The old natural cut.
See,
5-gallon buckets worth.
Here's what I'm gonna say about all those fries. There were 10 of them.
3 of the 10 were Checkers fries.
There were 10 of them. None of them were like local owned restaurants.
Oh yeah. In Tuscaloosa, it was all chains.
It was all chain restaurants.
Fast food chains, yeah.
Which, I guess you're pretty good at it if you got a chain restaurant. If you're a chain restaurant, you're doing something right.
Or your boss is doing something right.
I'm gonna tell you something too that wasn't on there. This really good fry, Captain D's.
Sure,
Captain D's has a good fry because they got them cracklings that get attached to it.
Definitely. You talking about the treats?
Yeah,
little treats.
Little treats. You can get a basket of them.
What?
Of the cracklings. Just the like the little pieces. Yeah. You can get a little.
That's the flour and an egg that came off of the
but
fish
you can
and fries. I'm on. Look, man.
You just go up there and say, "Hey, I want a thing of cracklings," and they'll give them to you.
Captain, well, you have to pay for them probably.
I'm sure. You do.
They just hand them out.
Yeah. They just Here you go. Well, I mean, it's a byproduct. It's like, what are you gonna do with that? You gonna throw it away?
Well, and they have to turn the lights on when somebody comes in there, so they're just getting rid of product.
I love Captain
D's.
Too,
man.
I don't understand what the big deal is.
Yeah,
I took Meg there because she was like, "I've never been," but she was so adamantly against it, and I think that's what ruined it for her.
She was biased.
She was biased going in because I was like, "Well, then that's where we're going to eat." And we went there, and I loved my meal. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And she was like, "This tastes like cheap fish." And I was like, "I don't know what cheap fish is. I grew up on catfish.
Right.
That's the cheapest fish."
Yeah.
So
I can get Anna to go like quarterly.
Oh, Meg, that's the only and last time Meg.
But she gets like chicken fingers or like shrimp.
Sure.
It's French fries and hush puppies. And they got banging tartar sauce.
That donut bread. It tastes like a donut.
You talking about
the bread tastes like a donut.
The hush puppies?
No, the bread.
What bread?
They've got bread. Like a bread stick almost. Like a piece of bread. It tastes like a donut.
Oh no.
It's so good. It's so good.
I wish I hadn't heard that.
Because now you're going to have to go get a piece of bread.
I'm thinking about it.
It's so good.
Dude, I'm doing good not eating bread.
You ain't been eating bread?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, you're on that diet.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
But I might risk it all for a donut breadstick.
He's ready to risk it all.
With a little beer battered whitefish.
Mm. Mm.
They got good like meat and three sides too.
Yeah. Corn on the cob.
What do you want?
Where else you getting corn on the cob?
Yeah.
And you get a cheesecake with some raspberries, some strawberry on top of it.
I hadn't done all that,
dude.
But
we used to go every Sunday after church is where we would eat as Captain D's, and it's fantastic.
I love it. We didn't eat it that much growing up, but I'm a beer battered guy.
Beer battered's great.
And that's why
I don't like the cornmeal.
Or it's like sandy.
Yeah, this is the cornmeal.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the only way you can get catfish. So it is what it is. Now, if you could beer batter catfish,
I don't think that we do the sandy stuff when we make it.
Catfish is always the gritty outside.
I don't think that's how we do it.
You're the only person I've ever heard of that.
I don't think. I mean, my mom's in there. I could go ask her.
That wet batters catfish, because that's the difference.
Yeah.
It's a wet and dry batter.
Yeah. I think
catfish gets dry battered every time.
I don't think. I think we. I don't think we do the cornmeal.
We'll keep y'all updated.
Yeah, we'll keep y'all updated on that one. So there's this test I found today or last night. It's kind of like the way you answer the question is like indicative of intelligence to a degree.
How you answer the question is just is more important than what your answer to the question is.
So this is like if you were blind. So like you have to like put yourself in that frame of mind if you were blind. And then it's so you figure out if you were blind, so close your eyes. If you were blind, how would you ask for a pencil?
Can I borrow a pencil?
Dang it.
What do you think I was going to do?
Yeah, that's what everybody else. Yeah, everybody on TikTok is like, all right, close your eyes, and then it's like, how would you ask for a pencil? And then they're like this. They're like, how would you ask for something to eat? And then they do that. How would you ask for something to drink?
Yeah.
And then they're like, I said you're blind, not deaf, or not mute. Gosh. Well, yeah, that was a close one.
Didn't get me this time.
That was a close one.
Didn't get me
I
this
thought
time.
it was you paused too for a second.
I was thinking.
You were thinking.
Hey, no bread would clear your brain up.
I'm sure
I'm
will.
crystal clear.
I'm sure it will. So this kind of interrupted our Alabama talk, but Alabama, Ivey.
All right.
Our governor.
Yes.
She has.
I'm voting for her if she's alive.
See, this is what I was going to talk about. She has assembled a marketing team that has picked up some steam.
Yeah.
Because have you seen the Joe Biden commercial?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it's her sitting in her office, and she's her old, mummified self. Looks like she's.
Is she knitting with a small dog on her lap?
They should have.
In the
They should have
sunroom?
done that. But she's sitting there in her office, and she says, my mom always told me, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And it's like, this is what I have to say about Joe Biden.
And then the commercial's over? That's funny. Because there's nothing you can get her for, like when she's campaigning and the Democrats like, remember when you said Joe Biden was a... It's like, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Yeah, that's funny.
And she's like, she's...
They probably tried and she couldn't get the lines down. And then they were
Probably.
just
They
some
were like,
genius.
They were like, look, say this. All right, action. And she was like, wait a minute.
She's just sitting there like,
yeah, she's
like, just dub this over the top.
Yeah, she's so old, she can't remember the lines.
Some genius intern just got a job for life because he came up with that on the fly as they were recording it.
Hey, I don't think
she's got. Movie.
I think she's got one guy running against her, and I would rather vote for that guy. He was in freaking Black Hawk Down.
I don't care.
He was one of the pilots in Black Hawk, the real Black Hawk Down, not the movie, the real Black Hawk Down.
It didn't even cross my mind
that it was a real thing. He was in the real Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
in the actual Lord of the Rings, the thing that happened. No, he was one of the pilots in Black Hawk Down that got captured and tortured.
Is he a Democrat?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'll vote for him.
He's like his commercial. He's flying a freaking Black Hawk too.
Why do you think he filmed that? Everybody like Josh was just like, this guy.
Yeah,
he's in an airplane.
He's a war veteran.
He's in a movie. There's a bunch of war veterans,
but like he's a real
okay
in Somalia, got shot down.
No, that wasn't.
And then
Don't call that a war. It was a conflict.
Anyways,
yeah,
they grabbed that mug out of that plane and tortured him for probably a month or two.
And now he wants to be the governor of Alabama.
Now he's trying to beat Ivey.
What's his name?
Mike Honcho.
Honcho?
That's the guy off of Talladega Nights.
Oh.
He's like, I was in Playgirl under the name Mike Honcho. Let's see. Alabama governor race. There we go. 2022. Oh, who are all these people?
See, I knew there was more.
I know all y'all. Okay. Is it Tim James?
You're the one who brought it up.
What's that guy's name? Tim James. Let's see. I'm going to do Black Hawk Down.
That's what I'm doing. You're going
Alabama. Oh, yeah, Mike Durant. Oh, he's in the Senate. Oh, he's not even in the...
Josh.
Well, he needs to be.
Josh. Okay. Look, Josh doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mike Durant. He's running for Senate, so I'll vote for him in the Senate. Senate race. He probably is setting himself up for a governor spot though.
Sure.
If he's running for Senate right now.
Yeah.
But then she had the tweet.
You about
sent me the tweet. You sent me the tweet. It was so there was a tweet that came out. It was like AL.com or something like that said javelin rockets that were made in Alabama are being sent to the front lines of the Ukraine fight so that they can be used against the Russians. And then she tweeted, the last thing we want Putin to see was made in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking crack marketing team, man. Because she didn't come up with that.
No.
Let's just be honest.
Of course not.
But then why are we voting for her? because she okayed a bunch of people to say stuff on her behalf.
She put together a good team.
Hey.
But she had somebody put together her team. She didn't put together somebody's team.
No, she doesn't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if she hadn't done anything bad in the past.
She's kept the ship level.
Yeah.
That's
she
all.
hadn't sexually harassed anybody like all the other governors that we've had, or funneled money in like all the other governors or that we know of.
That's twice we've jinxed.
Knock on wood. So that leads us to like our big topic of this week. Russia versus Ukraine.
Allegedly.
Okay. Say what you need to say.
I've got a feeling
Okay.
that this doesn't have to do with Russia trying to impose its will on the Ukraine.
What do you think it has to do with?
I think it has to do with, well, let's just follow what's happened. So this weird not out of nowhere, because there's always strife over there, but just like unprompted, we're invading Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
I think Russia is getting a backdoor kickback and being the bad guy for the planet right now, so that other people can push stuff through that we're not thinking about. Now that's the overarching, that's the conspiratory specifically. So now we're virtuous and we're going to help Ukraine. So we're shutting down the pipelines in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Sanctions. Nobody's getting oil out of Russia.
Yeah.
So we're going to bleed them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where's this energy coming from now? Well, we're in talks with Venezuela, who is Russia's best ally.
Mm-hmm.
Iran, who
We've got a great relationship with them.
and either Afghanistan or Pakistan, another country that,
Which is controlled by China.
to get oil.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is
But they're all
Russia's
connected.
going to sell the oil to Venezuela
I think that's probably happening.
or Afghanistan.
That's probably
or wherever,
happening.
Yeah.
And then we won't open ours.
Yeah, the pipeline.
But, and this isn't really the conspiracy side, this is just liberals with no common sense. Okay, so two things.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to bleed and cripple Russia? Shut down their oil output. That's how you destroy a country. What do we do? Shut down our own oil supply.
Well,
That's one thing.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, so how do you kill a country? Let's do it to ourselves. That's what we're doing. If you think about it. Also, if we're trying to, I think it has something to do with trying to get rid of fossil fuels and stuff too.
There's a conspiracy theory that said, like, that's essentially saying, like, reason the gas prices are going up is to make consumers think more about electric cars.
Yes. And there's some kind of, I'm not saying it's Elon,
Yeah.
but it's everybody's going to get money from this war.
Well, so this is one of the things that somebody sent us this week, which was Riley Vos. He wanted us to talk about this. This is a tweet from Elon Musk that says, hate to say it.
Oh, yeah, this was great.
But we need to increase oil and gas output immediately. Extraordinary times demand extraordinary measures. Obviously, this would negatively impact Tesla, but sustainable energy solutions cannot react instantaneously to make up for Russian oil and gas exports.
Unless he's a part of it, and that's to put a little salve on everybody's wounds. I know.
From everything that I've seen, he doesn't seem like the guy that's controlled by that stuff or money necessarily.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of things. I've been keeping up with a lot of it. There's actually a really good, and I know you're gonna laugh at this. There's a really good TikTok account It's a guy who is like an independent reporter. I think he's called the Malcontent Network or something. Let me find it. Malcontent News. And he is going through like pretty heavily like the Ukrainian-Russian conflict. He's finding a lot of the videos and pictures that are coming out of Ukraine or coming out of Russia and actually like geotagging their locations with the picture and like trying to figure out exactly where it is, when it is, all that stuff. He was actually where I heard from before I heard it from the news or anywhere else about the nuclear reactors, because he was like, we have a video of looks like a bomb going off, and then he like found like the exact fork in the road, and it was like leading to the power plant and all this other stuff. So but I've seen a lot of stuff with him, and I have a hard time believing that it's all made up, like that it's not actually like Russia, because there was also a video of Putin that came out that nobody's talking about, and I don't know why they're not talking about this. For pretty much 29 minutes, he went on a rant about how their enemy is the U.S. This has nothing to do with Ukraine. Essentially, is we're in a war with the U.S. That's what Putin has said, and so like that's why I think we're real.
Nobody's talked about that because that's probably not real. If he flat out said we're at war with the U.S., it'd be in the news.
Why not? Why wouldn't it be in the news? That's the like. Why wouldn't it be in the news?
Because that's some fake account video that popped up with a fake dub over some guy that looks like Putin.
I'm just saying, if it is real, there's a reason it's not in the news, and I think it's because the U.S. doesn't want to cause the conflict. Like, we don't want to start, and that's why the whole. Have you been keeping up with like the Polish Air Force sending MiG-29s to
their whole fleet of fighter jets?
Yeah, and then we would backfill those fighter jets with F-16s. Like, the U.S. would give Poland our F-16s.
We replace them.
But that whole like deal has like went south, because essentially Poland has said, well, we're not gonna give the jets to Ukraine. We'll give the jets to the U.S. and the U.S. can give the jets to the Ukraine, and then the Ukraine or the U.S. can give us. And it's like, because nobody wants to go over there and step on Russia's foot. Because if they do, then Russia's going to see that as a direct conflict, and then they're going to be at war with whoever that is too.
Well, if this is real, then we ain't got nothing to worry about. Because if Russia can't take over Ukraine in a month, Russia ain't all it's cracked up to be.
There's been a lot of speculation. So this is another part of. Like,
I hope it is all real, because then that would.
Well, you saw there was like a 47-kilometer long convoy of Russian tanks and convoy that was stopped. Like they were backed up because they didn't have enough gas to get them through. They ran out of gas.
I've seen some of those.
It's real. That is real, because Ukraine went through with drones and bombed the crap out of a bunch of them. But it's been thought for a very long time that Putin has over-glorified his military presence, and that
what you do as a dictator.
Doesn't really have what he says he has. And there was also this is interesting. There was a news. This they have state news over there.
Mm-hmm.
A reporter or a group of reporters at the state news posted on their website this big long letter that was like, don't send your sons to this Ukraine thing. Like, we're a band of reporters getting together. We don't think that this is not a conflict that we need to be involved in, blah, 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 blah. Go through this whole thing. They were like, we're probably going to be in prison / killed when this information gets out. And then within about like 20 or 30 minutes, it was taken down off the website. So I don't know. I think it's a real crisis. I think there's actually something going on over there. But that's just.
Oh, no, I do too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like
made
the
up.
second Spider-Man movie where it's all like
Oh, holograms.
A hologram, yeah. And I think it's real. People are dying, but
they're not releasing Russian deaths either. Russia is not releasing the number of soldiers killed.
It's probably because it's 1 million of them already.
They're very ill-equipped, and so this is another thing that people are saying is a possibility of that's happened is Russia is just sending they're like, hey, you're drafted now. We're going to give you a gun and we're going to send you to the front lines. You're not their actual military because they're sending this first wave in to create some sort of they're not all they're cracked up to be.
And you use up all of Ukraine's resources and then you just walk through. Yeah, maybe. So. Sure, that's fine. I hate to think people nowadays think they're as virtuous as people in the 40s. The people back home that were actually women went to work to build things,
tanks and
because
stuff
when all the men and I tweeted that support Ukraine and I'm Rosie the Riveter now.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
I think there's a little. I get what you're saying.
Wow.
I think it's a little different nowadays because most women back then didn't work at all.
Oh yeah, it's different.
But yeah, I agree with what you're saying. You can, just because you tweeted out, and that's so. Something that I have a problem with is it's hey, Broadway supported Ukraine today by singing the Ukrainian national anthem. How did you support them?
Yeah.
Did you send money?
Awareness.
Yeah.
We're aware.
Everybody knows.
Supposedly this is World War III. We're aware.
We're getting there, supposedly. Also, Elon Musk said that he will, for 3 months, he'll
shoot
pay,
rockets from the moon.
Yeah. He'll pay 3 months salary to anybody who is goes on the Ukrainian front lines to fight against Russia.
How are you going to keep up with that?
I mean, I'm sure somebody's keeping up with something over there.
This just doesn't seem I don't know. Russia needs to do something if they're going to do something.
I think they're doing all they can.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's it. Putin was like, go get them. And then everybody's like, wait a minute.
Listen,
what do you mean?
This is sacrificing your queen to set up something on the back end.
There's also...
That's what it is. I don't know how.
So here's another thing is there's some people who think that all the Russian oligarchy has pumped Putin up, and they're like, yeah, you can do this. We need to do this. But in their minds, they're like, he's going to fail. And so then we set up a new command after he's gone.
Yeah.
This is the way to get him out.
That might be part of the deal.
There's a lot of speculation
that Putin doesn't know about.
Yeah. A lot of speculation.
Yeah.
Fertilizer prices have shot through the roof because Russia is one of the main suppliers for fertilizer. Mm-hmm. The wheat futures, which is gambling on whether or not it's going to rise or fall, they're thinking it's about to get hit pretty hard too. Wheat, because we get a lot of wheat from there.
Great.
So won't be able to buy bread.
That's a net positive.
I like bread though.
Yeah, I love bread.
Chips.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about the electric car thing, mm-hmm. There's also, and I don't know if we've talked about this on podcasts before, where supply chain issues are supposedly you can't find meat anywhere, and that's going to set up for meat alternatives.
It's the same with the fuel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People think that might happen.
Well, it's because that's where it's headed. That's what they're trying to do. But yeah,
if you believe in
with the car thing, with the pipeline thing. Okay, we're getting rid of fossil fuels, we're going to save the planet.
Yeah.
We're going to save our civilization. Well, really, the U.S. is one of the only countries that actually does all these actual like rollbacks and stuff and restrictions. We're one of the only ones that does them.
Oh, China's eating through all that stuff.
China, India, Africa's still using a lot of coal and stuff, which is worse.
Yeah.
But anyway,
supposedly.
so the U.S., we are shutting our pipelines down because we cannot be sucking oil out of the ground. Hey, Venezuela, Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, we need your oil.
Yeah.
Would you not? Okay, so this has nothing to do with the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just start there. This has nothing to do with the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if we're going to suck oil out of the ground and we're going to try and do it the cleanest way possible, would you rather Venezuela do it or us?
Yeah. Because we're going
to keep it as clean as possible.
Yeah.
If we have to do it,
Yeah.
who can do it the best? No. Who's like next to last?
Yeah.
Can we have your oil?
Because
I'm sure there's oil spilling out all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Where y'all?
And that's it. So I saw a meme that was going around the other day that I thought was funny. It's a meme and it's got like, so it says it's like a two-parter. Like the top is like finished pipeline, and it's just green grass where there's like you can see there's a cutout with all the trees that are gone because the pipeline is underneath the ground
where they dug everything.
And
out.
then it says lithium mine for your
Have
electric
you seen
car.
a lithium mine?
And it's like a big. So here's the thing: is I saw that, and then I commented below it because it was somebody that I knew posted it, and I said that is a crazy environmental impact. And then I said almost as crazy as the BP oil spill, because it's like. If you want to say, oh, we got a pipeline.
But that was an accident.
We got a pipeline.
See.
Here's the thing, is you want to stand on your high horse and you want to say, well, we got a pipeline does real good. It's like
high horse.
Yeah.
Continue.
You want to sit up there and you'd be like, we got a pipeline does it's better for the environment. A of all. No. B of all. No.
Well,
it's like
that's some good statistical facts you got there with the no. We don't know the impact of a lithium mine, so let's not act like we do.
Yeah, okay. So, but since 1986, pipeline accidents have spilled an average of 76,000 barrels per year, or more than 3 million gallons. This is equivalent to 200 barrels every day. Oil is by far the most commonly spilled substance, followed by natural gas and gasoline. But it's like, it's cool. It's funny that some people get on social media and they see something like that and they're like, oh yeah, for sure.
How many barrels a day?
It was
200
barrels a day.
You know how many barrels of oil get made per day in the world?
Oh, I'm sure it's
per day.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
88 million barrels.
But
it's literally a drop in the bucket.
It's a drop in the bucket until it's your backyard.
Oh, that's fine.
Like the BP oil spill. You couldn't really go.
It's a lithium mine until it's in your backyard, till they buy your property to mine.
So it's not a big deal until it's a big deal to your area.
Yeah.
So when the BP oil spill happened, like, you can't go to the beach.
Yeah.
Because there's oil everywhere.
God forbid.
But like
Did
for
you make
us,
it
that was
through
like.
that?
But I'm saying it wasn't a problem. Like the freaking what's the one that was in Alaska? The Valdez. Whatever. It's in Alaska. I don't care. It was a big deal to the people that were in Alaska.
Okay.
And then it was a big deal down here because we had all these like ecosystems with the fish and the crabs and all that stuff that were getting wiped out by the oil spill.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's not a big deal until it's in your backyard. Like 200 barrels a day doesn't sound bad unless somebody was dumping 200 barrels a day in your front yard.
Sure.
And then you go through all that and it's like, okay, 200 barrels a day is not bad until it starts seeping into the groundwater. Gets through all that, seeps into the groundwater. Then we can't drink the water that's coming out of the ground.
You know how hard it is to process a lithium battery properly when it's done?
Well, so a lot of them are not actually like taking them apart and breaking them down anymore because they're still good for some uses. So like
they repurpose them. That's fine.
So they take them out of the car because they're not really good for like maintaining charges for an electric car, like charge, disperse. So they're using a lot of old car batteries, electric car batteries for house batteries.
Cool.
Because you're not going to disperse it at the rate that a car battery would disperse it at. And so, I mean, I get like, there's drawbacks to both of them.
We need to go nuclear. That's what we need to do.
There's drawbacks to both oil and electric, but if you're a gas person and you're sitting there going, oh, we're cleaner than electric cars. No, you're not.
Okay.
I
don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't. I just get fired up about it.
That was a little soapbox.
I just get fired up about it.
Yeah. You got to get fired up about something.
Yeah. Speaking of drilling into rocks.
Yeah. Dude, this is intriguing. Okay. Oh.
You didn't send it to me.
No, I thought I was on mine. New York Post. Ancient Japanese killing stone said to contain evil demon has cracked open.
Is it from fracking?
No. As if the world doesn't have enough problems, people are now worried that an evil demon locked in a rock for almost 1,000 years is on the loose. The so-called killing stone that kept the malevolent spirit imprisoned all this time has split in two, sending believers into a state of panic.
Believers in the rock.
Yeah. I'm not talking about Christians. Japanese legend has it that anyone who comes into contact with the rock will die. According to mythology, the volcanic...
Which is technically true.
Yeah, because everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
Yeah. According to mythology, the volcanic rock, officially called Sessho Siki, is home to Tamamomo no Mai, a.k.a. the nine-tailed fox, which sounds like a Pokemon. You remember that Pokemon?
Yeah.
Ivey?
Yep, Ivey. So that's not that bad.
No, unless that was bad. The demon apparently took the form of a beautiful woman who was part of a plot to kill Emperor Toba, ruler of Japan from 1107 to 1123. That's a short run. 6 years. Located
the demon got him.
True. Located in as a beautiful woman. Tale as old as time.
Happens to us all.
Located in the mountainous northern region of Tochigi, near Tokyo, the rock is something of a tourist hotspot, but now visitors are fearful. Some speculate that the evil spirit may have even been resurrected to wreak havoc once more. Then it does like all articles do now. They quote 3 or 4 random people on Twitter that said something about it. And then local reports suggest the rock actually started cracking a couple of years ago. It's thought that rainwater continued the crack, making it split. And they don't know what to do with the rock. But it seems like it's an old thing, and there's not that many people that actually think about it anymore.
Yeah.
But the people that do are freaked.
Where's that at again?
Tokyo.
Near
Tokyo.
Yeah.
It's Japan.
I thought you were sneezing half of that article.
That's all good.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was just some like high school kids just out there with a friggin' mallet one day and a chisel, just like, we're gonna make everybody think this demon snapped out of this rock.
Yeah. Or it's real.
And that got into Russia.
And we don't need to worry about Putin or Biden or anybody.
Oh, it's a spiritual war for sure.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem like a superhero movie where it's like one that wants to take over the world. This is just like a local demon.
Yeah.
So we're probably all right. If it dresses up as a beautiful woman to seduce individual guys, we're probably fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine because I'm married.
It probably
doesn't matter what she looks like.
Probably what it is just it's gonna like be over there like tripping people or something, like because it's been locked in a rock for a long time too. So its powers are probably
1,000 years, or it's been training.
It could have been training.
We might be screwed.
Well,
we'll see. We'll keep y'all posted.
Yeah, keep y'all posted.
We'll keep y'all updated.
So
oh, no.
Speaking of demons.
No.
Have you seen?
What did somebody take out of context now?
I mean, they did take it out of context, but I also feel like.
What happened?
Elevation Church pastor Steven Furtick under fire for endorsing teen son's explicit music. So his son is making music that's explicit.
That curses.
Elevation Church founder and senior pastor Steven Furtick and his wife Holly recently came under fire online after supporting their teenage son's music, which includes references to sex, guns, and excesses of money, which they do have. Last week, 16-year-old Elijah Furtick, a hip-hop artist who goes by the name as Do the Dash, released his first album, Teen Machine. The album begins with a 30-second introduction that states that the songs are a genuine reflection of some dimension of the author's experience and personality, while also noting that the most of the lyrical content reflects experiences that are fictitious, exaggerated, tongue-in-cheek, and otherwise wildly inaccurate. Elijah Furtick's opening song, No Hook, refers to oral sex, drinking Hennessy, and his bro keeping a gun. The music video has over 54,000 views on YouTube. Following the album's release, Furtick praised his son for his hard work and called him an inspiration. This is a quote. The day you showed me your first garage band, Mark Ronson rip-off beat, I saw the spark. Next came the obsession. You locked yourself away and taught yourself the intricacies of production and the basics of engineering, the mega church pastor wrote in a lengthy article on Wednesday. Furtick explained that Elijah also challenged himself how to make tutorial videos for his YouTube channel. Ultimately, Furtick said his biggest inspiration was Elijah believing his voice, lyrics, melodies were enough to create the project. This is the part that inspired me the most, because even with auto-tune, letting your voice be heard, even by your own ears, is intimidating. Most people can't even stand to hear their voice for 10 seconds on an old video on their phone, but you had the courage to conceptualize, execute in the entire project, every 808 mix and melody you meticulously curated and created, selected, and perfected. Elijah's mother, Holly, said that she is so proud of this project on Instagram. And according to the Christian Post, critics online expressed concerns about the Furtick's endorsement of their son's music given its lyrical content. Somebody quoted 1 Timothy 3 says that one qualification of a pastor are that he be one who manages his household well, keeping his children under control with all dignity. But if a man does not know how to manage his own household, how will you take care of the Church of God? Pastor Keith Bell, an associate pastor and jail minister connected with Thomas Road Baptist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia, asked in a Facebook post. Essentially, he's just saying that he's disqualified. Ruslan, who is another Christian artist, commented on the song on YouTube, said, I don't blame him. He's a kid. This is not his fault. That was co-signed by his mom. He posted it. His mom was like, yeah, endorsing it. It's not a good look to be flexing about money and jewelry when your dad is a pastor. There's nothing authentic about this. The number one value in the ecosystem of hip-hop is authenticity.
No. That's what they all do. This is a stupid little kid that's been on TikTok too much.
Yeah, but so you were saying at the beginning of this, you said what has been taken out of context, and I'm not necessarily sure that anything's being taken out of context here. It's just like,
well, so what do you do? Do you support? I'm not publicly endorsing it.
No, but if
Lana became a stripper and I was like, she's working down at the Giggle Pit,
it's your hard work, Lana. You've really made this happen for yourself, and you're bringing home money. And
authentic.
Dad's so proud of you, and it's.
But yeah,
it's like the guy said, like you're a church, pastor's kid.
I would be very annoyed at my kid,
and there's no way that the parents didn't listen to it before it went out.
Yeah, you don't endorse it.
Yeah.
That if you're like, okay, so you're going to be a hip hop star, Elijah. You're going to be a hardcore hip hop star, little white Elijah.
Yeah.
Have you seen a picture of him? He's the epitome of the TikTok like high schooler.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
He's got the curly updo with no sides, like a labradoodle.
Yeah.
Or a golden doodle.
Mm-hmm. I like Ruslan. He's a good rapper, Christian rapper.
Yeah,
but
he's right.
You shouldn't be as a pastor's kid being like, oh, I got all this money.
Yeah,
I'm gonna spend it all on.
But if we're gonna be authentic, like my daddy gave me all this money, but like let's be. If we're gonna be authentic,
my dad's church parishioners gave me all this money. I mean, let's. They worked real hard, and now I'm. Oh man, I freaking forgot something that I was going to talk about with Russia. Anyways,
do you think, or what do you think a pastor should get paid? Boy, we just said, where's this rabbit hole? But
so by the church, I would say, I wouldn't think.
I'm about to blow your mind hole.
Okay. I wouldn't think that a pastor should be paid more than $200,000.
No matter what.
That's pushing the bleeding edge of like.
Yeah, that's a bunch of money.
It's a bunch of money.
I agree. Yeah.
But can the pastor go make his own money too by writing a book? Sure.
Do you want me to blow
I do
your
not
mind
care.
hole?
Sure.
Steven Furtick hasn't taken a salary from Elevation Church.
No.
So
keep going.
I get to listen.
Stop. No. Say it. No, I want to hear you. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with what you're saying.
Get your feet on your side of the table.
Just say what you're gonna say. I'm not rolling my eyes at you.
He doesn't take a salary from the church. He gets them for book sales and speaking engagements.
That's fine.
Yeah.
To think though that he doesn't get some compensation from the church might be a little crazy. Like the church isn't paying for his bills and his gas and.
I'm just telling you what he has said on stage.
I know.
That's all I got.
I'm not upset at you.
Yeah. I got to sit here and listen to this cool TikTok reporter, but then I can't talk about what the man said himself.
Yeah. So I've worked for a church before, and it's a real cool thing for a pastor to say.
I agree with you. That is
I've had a pastor on stage be like, we gave back our entire salary this year. And it's like,
and
hold up,
they didn't.
You've got 4 kids.
Not a book deal.
Not a book deal. Your house is paid for by the church. Your cars are paid for by the church. Your food is paid for by the church. How did you afford electricity if you gave your entire salary away unless the church is also paying for that? Like, it's a great thing to say.
Yeah.
I gave back my salary this year.
And then in time.
But.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But it's a lot easier to actually not take a salary from your church when you do have 15 books.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So it's.
Well, and having a salary from the church and the church also, like, if they said, I received no compensation from the church.
Compensation and salary are two different things. Yeah. I hear you. That's fine.
It's fun to say.
Yeah. Look. Is he perfect? No.
No. I'm not a Steven Furtick hater.
I'm not talking to you.
Okay, sorry.
Did you see how I was kind of looking right here when I was doing it? Kind of talking to everybody.
Okay.
Y'all chill with Steven, please. Just until he's... He'll misquote a Bible verse or like take a Bible verse out of context in a minute. I hear you.
Who hasn't?
Right.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you wrote it, you're going to take some of it out of context. That's just.
Especially as deep and intricate as the Bible can get.
Right.
And you can go, hey, this scripture applies to your life, but it really doesn't.
Yeah. And then what was the last biggest thing was he tweeted like, Jesus doesn't change you when he shows you who you are, who you were.
Something like that, yeah.
Yes, there's a Bible verse that says you change on the inside. He was making a point about like
I don't
your
get
inner
about that.
Gosh, people do though, man.
I don't. Yeah,
people
do.
that I'm friends with that I see it and I'm like, that's annoying.
I get I get that side of. I don't get on him about that stuff because it's like, okay, whatever. Like I get what you were saying.
Yeah,
you weren't like, hey, if you want to praise God for real, praise the devil. Like he's not saying that,
right?
It's
clickbait.
not like,
everybody's got to have clickbait nowadays.
He's not saying, hey, when you hear the Holy Spirit, go the other way. Like it's not stuff like that. It's like God doesn't change you. He shows you who you're supposed to be.
Same thing with alcohol. Yeah. Alcohol doesn't change you. It just shows you
who you really are.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's a joke. It's true, but it was a joke. I almost
went like, it wouldn't have been good.
For the people that don't watch, that was a joke.
Yeah.
God and beer are not the same.
Yeah. But he's not saying anything like that. I will, all of that stuff aside, this is a little different.
I don't like this at all.
Yeah. This is like.
Yeah. Well, we're supporting our son. Well,
maybe you should have said, hey.
Maybe you should have done that when he was 11 and we wouldn't be in this situation. How about that?
Yeah. If your 15-year-old son is rapping about oral sex, drinking Hennessy, his bro having a gun.
Probably can't spell Hennessy.
Probably can't.
Definitely never seen it. Definitely never drank any of it.
I might have a hard time spelling Hennessy. I know there's a couple of N's in there.
And I think there's 2 S's at the end, too.
It might trip me up.
Also wouldn't drink Hennessy. But
I've never drank Hennessy. Yeah. Not saying that I haven't drank.
Yeah, no, but it's not a...
He's 15. He shouldn't be talking about drinking Hennessy.
No. And who's listening to him?
Apparently
people at Elevation.
54,000 people. That might be one of the campuses.
Yeah. That's the staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't like it.
Yeah. That's like when people start getting on Bethel about the stuff that they do. It's like,
it's funny.
I get where they're coming from, though. Some of that stuff where they were like, they were making fun of people for grave soaking. Did you see that stuff?
Mm-hmm. We talked about it on the podcast.
Okay.
Well, on your couch.
Okay. That's been a while.
When
you talk about stuff for 2 years, it's hard to keep up with everything.
So how about you remember the first episode? Wait, should we wait and talk about it on episode 100?
I don't know.
It was just funny.
I don't care.
We'll do it now. Okay. We're at 98. Yeah. It's been on, I think it's Prime Video. Mm-hmm. Remember that? The very first episode, we watched that movie trailer.
The Vivarium or whatever.
Whatever it was, we saw it, and Anna was like, "Is that the movie y'all talked about?"
Y'all watched it?
No, we just saw it on the thing.
Yeah.
And this was yesterday, and it was funny because it was like that was the first episode.
I've seen it pop up a couple of times.
And she was like, "Have y'all done it since?" I was like, "No." She said, "Weren't you going to?" I was like, "We planned on it being part of it."
There's a couple of segments that was like, we're
going to keep this going. But that was the first episode.
We do need to bring some of that stuff back, though.
Sure.
I just don't remember what any of it was. We were going to watch old movies.
We did the bracket. We were going to see if movies held up.
Yeah. And we never did. We watched one movie.
Did Space Jam. With Peyton.
Yeah. And Peyton thought it
held up. And it didn't at all.
We didn't think it did.
At all.
It's all.
It's better than the new one.
But yeah, so one more episode and then we'll be at 100.
Dang.
So we gotta have people. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but guys, that was episode 98. Like he said, it's gonna come out on Saturday now. Reach out to us, let us know what you think, give us stuff to talk about. Thank you for letting us into your hearts and minds, your places of work, and your homes,
and your butts.